Chinua Achebe. After wide consultations, it became evident that there is a broad consensus that no one is more deserving to be named after the first airport in Anambra State than Anambra's all-time greatest literary gift to the world, Chinua Achebe. We know that with the escalating population of Anambra will probably need 2 more airports in the future. But this first one, consequently, we are committed to rename the Anambra International Cargo and Passenger Airport, Umueri, to Chinua Achebe International Airport, Umueri. 3 years today, we gained independence. Since then, our journey to nationhood has been a checkered one. No country or nation is a perfect one. Every nation continues to struggle in its march to a more perfect union. A glowing tribute goes to our founding fathers who, despite their imperfections, were mostly nationalists, who negotiated a competitive federalism as the structure to leapfrog the ladder of development for Nigeria. With a civil war, cycles of military coups, and fits and starts of democracy, we have modeled through the past 63 years with squandered opportunities and yet with a promise of potential greatness. This year, 2023, is very remarkable. Again, the country has peacefully transferred power from one president to another, and our democracy is certainly evolving strongly. Challenges are bound, but I see hope. Yes, Nigeria is currently battling to reset the buttons of development. Over the past few years, macroeconomic management was on its head with the enduring legacies of a technically insolvent federal government and pressures on exchange rate and inflation. The chicken has now come home to roost, and the current administration has the unenviable task of cleaning the Augean stubble by taking us through the long delayed but inevitable disruptive reset. The path to stability, growth and sustainability will be challenging, and there are no quick fixes. All of us must fasten our seatbelts and collectively think and walk Nigeria out of the current challenges. We have no other country but Nigeria, and we must make it work for everyone. Here in Anambra State, we are deliberately executing the 5 pillars of the Soludo Solution Manifesto, namely security, law and order, infrastructure and economic transformation, human capital and social agenda, governance and value system, and an agenda for clean, green, planned and sustainable communities, markets and cities. We are firing from all the cylinders, and in our haste to lay the foundations for a livable and prosperous homeland. In March next year, 2024, we shall present our 2-year comprehensive report card on the Anambra. But as you are aware, following the desired removal of petrol subsidy to exchange rate adjustments and the consequential socio-economic hardship on the citizens, we have rolled out the most ambitious response to the challenging times, subject of course to the limits of our resources. As a government founded on the true progressive agenda, we are determined to leave no one behind. In addition to the 10% salary increase for public servants since January 2023 this year, we have started paying each of the 59,000 public servants and pensioners a non-taxable cash augmentation, that's in addition to their salaries and so on. We're giving each of these 59,000 persons 12,000 naira each beginning from this month, and we've already paid most of them for this month until December this year. In September, in 2 weeks' time, we will be distributing bags of rice to over 300,000 households as part of the palliative measures. We have banned the collection of taxes and levies from hawkers, barrow and truck pushers, vulcanizers, Okada riders, and all businesses with capital less than 100,000 in the state. We have also reduced by 20% levies paid by all transport vehicles, from keke, minibus, and so on and so forth. We're reduced there by 20%. Pregnant women now receive free antenatal and delivery services in all government hospitals. We have also begun the ambitious program of a true free primary to JSS 3 education, and that being free of all fees, levies, and financial contributions of any type in all public schools in Anambra. An additional 3,000 teachers are being recruited to add to the earlier recruitment of 5,000 teachers. We are determined to end the era of PTA teachers in all public schools. All our public schools must have adequate number of teachers to teach our children who happen to be our future. There will be trained, certified teachers. And in due course, we are going to roll out our agenda for the teachers, because the foundation, if you want to know, if you want to predict the future of any society, you look at the quality of teachers and the quality of teaching that goes on in that society, then you can predict how glorious or impervious that future might be. About 5,000 youths that have been trained under the 1U2 skill scheme will soon be empowered with cash to commence their own businesses. So far, we've distributed over 1,100,000 seedlings of palm and coconut as we began the coconut and palm revolution to over 100,000 households. And we will be distributing another 1 million next year and 1 million the year after, and so on. The list is a very long one. I'm not here to enumerate what we are doing in the areas of security, law, and order, or in about 400 kilometers of road that is going on in the 21 local governments, and so on and so forth, or the industrial parks that are now in the making, and of course, some of them people have already begun to move in, so to speak. I don't need to bore you. There will be a time to give you a comprehensive report card. But again, our goal is that we are all in this together, and we will swim out of the challenging times together. I am a die-hard optimist and believer in the potential greatness of Nigeria. I see a more glorious future, provided we all intentionally decide to make it work. Let me at this moment specially commend all our patriotic and hard-working men and women, members of the armed forces, our children and youths, the vulnerable population, captains of industry, traditional rulers and community leaders, and so on and so forth. We pray for the President of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, and his team at the federal government, members of the National and State Assemblies, the judiciary, and members of the international community. Together, we can make Nigeria great. Today is a day of deep reflection on our journey so far, and to refine our gaze onto the future. But that future may indeed benefit immensely from the lessons from our heroes past. Their patriotism, nationalism, selfless service, vision, and actions to build a great nation. Today, I want to especially pay my tributes to all our heroes past. May their labor never be in vain. We will never forget, and we will never celebrate them enough. Yes, we need to celebrate our heroes past. I am particularly happy that the federal government of Nigeria, as well as various state governments, have tried to immortalize many of our heroes past and present by naming streets, roads, stadia, airports, buildings, university hostels and buildings, universities, libraries and institutions after them, including, for example, the Right Honorable Dr. Anambra Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, Bafemi Awolowo, Ahmadu Bello, Dr. Michael Okara, Aminu Kano, K.O. Mbadiwe, Moshood Abiola, Murtala Mohammed, Mary Celeste Akanebia, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, Sam Mbakwa, Alex Ekwueme, Dora Akonyele, Iwenetansi, Jerome Udoji, and the list goes on and on. I'm glad that we have tried to honor them. In the recent past, former Governor Peter Obi renamed the Anambra State University, started by late former Governor Mbadnuju after Chukwuemeka Odumegwu. Former Governor Obiano also renamed the Women Development Center, also built by Dr. Mbadnuju after late Dorak. More recently, the Federal University in Ebonyi has been renamed the Lex Ekwueme Federal University, while the new airport built by the government of the immediate past governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer Dave Umahi, has been renamed Wilberforce Trubo Karibo Airport, Ebonyi. We appreciate these gestures aimed at keeping our memory of the heroic efforts of these men and women alive. However, it is evident that almost all those honored are persons involved in public service. They are all deserving, no doubt. However, at this historic moment, when we are trying to reset our values, it is important that we also beam the light on those beacons that we wish to celebrate as icons. A society ultimately mirrors what it celebrates. Here in Anambra, we are going back to basics and have identified human capital as Anambra's greatest resource. We are not just a land of politicians and distinguished public servants, but even more so, a land of acclaimed academics, entrepreneurs, professionals, and even the clergy. We are a land where intellect and enterprise are celebrated. We are determined to reclaim the soul of our society and celebrate those values that made us who we are. We must signal that you don't have to hold political position to contribute to the advancement of our civilization. Henceforth, we shall be deliberate in fishing out and celebrating our largely unsung heroes as motivation to our children and youths in terms of what matters, including distinguished teachers, medical and other professionals, persons of honesty and integrity, philanthropists with known sources of wealth, entrepreneurs and job creators, community leaders, developers, clergy with great devotion, etc., etc. During the first Anambra Investment Summit last month, I already indicated our intention to honor also my predecessors in office, among others. But let me share with you, ladies and gentlemen, in the Anambra and all Nigeria, an example of Africa's unsung hero, whom we will never forget, is late Professor Albert Chinua Achebe, popularly known as Chinua, simply known as Chinua Achebe. Wikipedia describes Achebe as, quote, a Nigerian novelist, poet, and critic regarded as a central figure of modern African literature. His first novel and magnum opus, Things Fall Apart, published in 1958, occupies a pivotal place in African literature and remains the most widely studied, most widely translated, and most read African novel. Along with Things Fall Apart, is No Longer at Ease, 1960, and Arrow of God of 1964, complete what is regarded as, quote, the African trilogy. At the end of quote from Wikipedia. At an auspicious time, I will be able to say a lot more about Achebe's place in history, in the Black African history. Unfortunately, some people wrongly think of legacies in terms of brick and mortar. Legacy is about impact on human life and human civilization. That is why those who have been celebrated for centuries are not those who built artifacts, but those who changed the course of history. Achebe was not a president or governor or minister. He did not build bridges or roads or airports. but he will outlive most presidents, governors, and ministers in our minds. Achebe gave the African literature an identity and a voice. In a way, he rightly reconstructed and refined who we are, and we will never forget. Indeed, he was not just an Anambra hero, nor a Nigerian hero. Chinua Achebe was an African and global hero, and yet largely unsung abroad. Achebe rejected Nigeria's national honors twice in protest against what he perceived as injustice to his home state, Anambra. Today, Anambra will finally honor Chinua Achebe. After wide consultations, it became evident that there is a broad consensus that no one is more deserving to be named after the first airport in Anambra State than Anambra's all-time greatest literary gift to the world, Chinua Achebe. We know that with the escalating population of Anambra will probably need 2 more airports in the future. But this first one, consequently, we are committed to rename the Anambra International Cargo and Passenger Airport, Umueri, to Chinua Achebe International Airport, Umueri. Yes, it has to be an international airport, and we hope to work with the federal government to give full effect to its international status. May it continue to be well with the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Anambra. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.